Let's get you started with CloudOlive. Now, if you've sent through files and they've been shared with the support team over at CloudOlive, chances are you want to come across here over to the reconciliation module. And you may land, whatever month we're currently in, will land in that. So you may want to come back to whenever the files were perhaps loaded in. Once we see this here, you may see one vendor, you may see 10 vendors here. The very, very, very first step we want to go through is essentially looking at this unreconciled line count in the brackets, because these are the remaining lines which have not found a home yet inside of your PSA. So easiest way to find them, and the recommended first step, is just click into the vendor itself. Now, one thing I would highlight over here is up next to the CloudOlive and your company name, you can get a little bit more real estate just by sliding that little toggle off and then coming back into the main view. So we'll start with the 4 dashboard items up here, because it's really working from left to right. On the left, this is the amount of costs that we've imported in. So ideally, we want this number now to be 0. If you don't have any costs in the file at all, it's highly likely that's going to say 0 there, 0 there. And all of the monetary information regarded over here is actually going to be hidden, and we're just focusing in on unit counts. If you do have a number here, we just want this to be 0. It just means every amount of costs that we were thinking was going to be imported has in fact been imported. Moving on to the next one. So we have 12 unique lines that we've imported in, and there's one line item that hasn't automatically found a home. So in order to find that, you notice the yellow box here. We look directly below it into the yellow items here. So this is saying we've got one CRM service field that is currently blank, because we've got one vendor service that just hasn't found a home. So the way to action that, in the action column here, we're going to go edit. And there's 3 different properties that we want to fill in. We want to pick in the company name, the contract, and then lastly the service name. So let's start with the company name. Searching here will pull any account with at least one active contract on it. Now we'll do the drop down. You can also search for these. So if we knew what we were looking for, you can search for recurring. And then in here we do the drop down. This has all of the services that are currently on that contract from within the PSA. And it's also sorted from large unit count to small, as you can see here. So we're looking for 3 smaller number. I can also just search for this here. So ESET server, number 3, perfect, and submit. That's now given the vendor line its home. So perfect, now we've got this to 0, we're in a good spot.